Hello, hello. Welcome to Hood Healing. How's it going?
What's going on? How you doing?
Great. This is Lydia with a Y.
Lydia with the I.
And we have a very special guest today. And
I don't know about special. I don't know.
He's here.
Really?
He's here. Who's our special guest? Reveal yourself.
It's me. It's Frank.
Frank.
Who's Frank?
Frank, Lydia with a Y's husband, Lydia with a I's relative.
That is correct.
They're related.
Yeah, I'm related to both of these now.
So if you've heard us talking about a Frank on our podcast, this is who we've been talking about. So now he's here. We've finally got him. We finally got him on this podcast.
I came on here to defend myself
He's on
about all those rumors.
Yeah. So today we're going to talk about rumors. How do we deal with them? Because we definitely know what that is like to be the source of lots and lots of rumors. So even our dogs are upset about it. So
I actually wanted to clear up some shit too, so
go ahead. Do what you got to do, girl.
it's about... No, I really did. I wanted to clear up some shit because I know I have some family that listens, and that family tried to stir some shit with my mom, you know what I'm saying? Talking about how she wouldn't be invited to the baby shower if she wasn't my mom. Like, bro, like, who the fuck are you to be talking like that? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, we don't even have that good of a relationship. The person who said it, you know what I'm saying? Like, we are not close. You know, you don't even know shit. And for you to try to stir shit with my mom, like, that's wrong.
Well, this is what I think, like, from looking at this from a healing perspective, like, my hood side's like, that's some reflective shit. But my healing side kind of like starts to think, you know, this person obviously wanted to hurt you, but through your own mom, which really sucks because she knew that it would like get you riled up. So I think that there's this thing that people can be very manipulative with their behavior, and they learn that as a way to survive whatever they're going through. So for me, it's like when people do those things, it tells you a lot about themselves. So I've seen this on the holistic psychologist who we've talked a lot about, and I know you guys look at her book. You've read her book. I've read her book. And she posted something this week that I was like, oh, wow, this is like really good. She posted something that said,
That was my throat.
oh my gosh.
Sorry about that.
It's not me.
I was like, what's happening over there? How people treat you is a reflection of how they feel about themselves. The way people treat other people is a reflection of their own emotional maturity, self-awareness, past experiences, and nervous system state. When people hurt others, lie, or betray in some ways, these are reflections of their own inner wounding. Emotionally healthy people who are fulfilled in their lives do not go out of their way to hurt people. A vast majority of people have been raised in trauma and conflict and chaos. They simply unconsciously reenact the patterns they learned growing up. Living within unprocessed trauma creates behaviors that are impulsive and unpredictable. And these patterns, while they do sabotage relationships, are highly addictive. The body becomes dependent on the drama and the stress hormones within the body, which kind of makes me think about this other person we had talked about earlier.
Yeah.
This is why some people continue to hurt people and don't change. The way people treat us might feel very personal, but the way we're treated is not a reflection of who we are. It is a reflection of who the other person is. How they interact and build within a relationship is theirs, not ours to carry. When we're emotionally healthy, we have high self-worth. We don't we don't want to do damage in our relationships. We want to allow people to be seen and appreciated. We want to work through conflict and take responsibility for our behavior. If someone's showing you through their behavior, this isn't something they're capable of, they're revealing themselves. And now you get to choose. You get to choose the space they have in your life and how how you'll respond. You cannot change anyone, but you can always change how you interact.
I think what pissed me off though was the fact that I don't even talk to this person. I don't interact with this person. This person knows why. And it was all because she didn't get an invite to the baby shower. Like, I don't understand how people get so upset over a fucking invite. Like, and then you call people out on it. Like, how do you do that? Like, if I didn't get an invite somewhere, I just didn't get it and that's it. You know what I'm saying? Like, life goes on.
Yeah. And I mean, we've talked about this so much because I know, trust me, when Frank turned 50, I was like, look, this is the guest list. Or, well, I didn't even say that because I was like, this is your party, this is your birthday. Who do you want to invite? And, you know, his thing was like, okay, this is who I want. And I kind of, girl, I kind of wanted to, you know, make sure that we had enough room for people. We had enough for them to have a good experience here. Like, that's my thing, is that, you know, I want to make sure that people, you know, have a nice experience at my home, that I have enough places for people to sit, that I have enough food for them. We can't have 500 fucking people in our backyard. We just can't. And I apologize for that.
But to me, it wasn't even that. You know what I'm saying? I think that
Well, yeah.
the people that we had at our baby shower were people who have been by our sides throughout this whole journey, who actually would reach out to us, ask about the whole baby thing, you know, and actually genuinely cared. You know what I'm saying? I haven't seen this lady in I don't know how many fucking years. You know what I'm saying? Like, I haven't seen her in forever. And you want to sit there and fucking tell my mom that I don't even love her, that I didn't even want her at my baby shower, that she was only there because she's my mom, and that if I didn't want her there, like, you know, I should have just been honest with her. And it like hurts my mom. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I had to sit with my mom and tell my mom, like, first of all, I don't have any interaction with this lady.
Mm-hmm.
I don't talk to her. Tell me she's hurting without telling me that she's hurting because she didn't get a fucking invite to the baby shower. Like, to me, it's like, I told my mom, tell her to come and tell me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and I hope I don't run into that lady and that's my aunt. You know what I'm saying? But how do you do that? Like, get a life, bro. Like, you have that much time in your hands to go and tell someone, oh, your daughter this, your daughter that, when you know nothing about me.
Yeah. And
the fact that she was expecting a fucking invite, the fact that she was expecting an invite, you are not allowed in my home. You allowed me to get hurt. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's another fucking podcast right there. You know what I'm saying? But I just wanted to get that off my chest. Like, if you, I don't know, like, to me, if you got something to say, come say it to my face.
Girl.
Don't involve my mom. Don't try to, you know, like, stir shit. Like,
yeah, that was some nasty,
you know,
nasty stuff.
To me, that was really nasty. And I, you know, and I talked about it with Susie, and I told Susie, like, who does she think she is? You know what I'm saying? Like, and then one lie after another started, like, unwrapping, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, whatever. And I'm sure this person, if one of her kids hears a podcast, I'm sure they're going to know who it is. And do me a favor, tell your mom to keep her nose out of my business and to leave my mom alone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's not okay when you are, like, saying things that are actually pretty cruel and mean when you have no idea if that's true or not.
Yeah.
Like, which is not true, right? I mean, you know, but it also goes, I mean, I think in the moment, definitely the reaction you have is definitely appropriate. Like, I would have literally been like, excuse me, like, what the fuck? And then I think if you take it a step further and just say, like, I wonder what has happened to this person, or what is happening for them, that they feel the need to do that to somebody, you know, because certainly we have not been invited to a lot of stuff. And yet, I mean, for people that we do have relationships with, that are placating other family members. And so they leave us out of stuff like Father's Day. Like that kind of shit is super hurtful because we know you've went out of your way to try to do something to be hurtful. But again, I'm not going to go and fucking say some mean shit to somebody just because I'm hurt about it. Maybe Frank.
Yeah.
But I must speak for myself. To me, I feel like, you know, it is what it is. We cannot control like how other people are. So we just have to kind of like keep it pushing.
Yeah.
And be able to acknowledge like, you know, what our true feelings are about it. Cause, you know, I think sometimes people go into this mode where they're like, well, I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. And it's like, but your behavior isn't showing me that. Like your behavior is showing me something else. Like, you know, and so I think if we say, yeah, that did hurt me because I thought like I would be part of the celebration. I'm not saying that this is the case in that person because you got a lot of audacity,
Yeah.
I think, to feel entitled to be part of your life when there's so much history and trauma that has been caused and perpetuated by this person in your life. Like yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think that actually you were pretty nice about it.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, I ended up clearing stuff up with my mom. You know what I'm saying? Like, we sat down, we talked about everything. And I told my mom, like, why would you even listen to this person? Like, I don't talk to her. I never see her. Like, she's full of shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, and I even told my mom, like, I'm going to confront her. She said, no. Like, don't do that. Like, just let it go. You know what I'm saying? But what better place? Because I know they hear it. From the sounds of it, a lot of our family listens to this podcast.
Which is why we're talking about rumors, because so I think it's so funny because like we have these moments where we start talking about like what's the topic, and then sometimes you and I will say like the same thing and I'm like, oh shit, I was seriously thinking about that too. And literally it happens, I think, more often than not. And this one, like I think we had thought about one thing, we had texted about it, which is another great topic. I'm excited for us to talk about. But this particular topic, we were just like, oh shit, we should really talk about this because I think we know there are people who do not have good intentions, who are not listening to this as a way to actually move forward and heal in their lives. I really hope that they do end up. Some of it subconsciously goes in there. But I think people were like, oh, well, what are they going to talk about? Are they going to talk about us? And it's like, what we talk about is our experience and what
it's our healing journey. You know what I'm saying?
Like, and it's like, if you've done something to us and we talk about it as a way, it's not like, oh, this person is this way or this person is that way. The reason it came up too was because someone actually approached me and said, oh yeah, I had to actually tell some of the aunts, the older aunts, that, you know, because they were talking about the podcast and talking about how you and Chubby's just talk about them and talk about your mother-in-law. And it's like, first of all, no, we don't, because we are talking about our experiences, you know, in our lives. If someone has done us dirty, well, it is what it is. But we are not talking about people or names or none of that shit. So I think Frank and I have dealt with a lot of like people making assumptions about our marriage, the state of our marriage, us, me. And so today we're just going to talk about like, if you know, people that are listening for you.
Well, someone is listening. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Yes,
If they're getting the word out and making it seem like we're talking bad about them, like, first of all, and this is something that I've told my family too, like, it just happens that we're both going through the same shit. You know what I'm saying? Like with our families, like as far as me and Frank go. So whenever I post a quote or something on my Instagram, like, I'm not throwing jabs at Frank's family. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm throwing jabs at my own family. You know what I'm saying? Like,
like my own.
Yeah, like, or if I talk about like, you know, how a parent, you know, makes someone feel. I'm not throwing jabs at Frank's parents. I'm throwing them at my parents. You know what I'm saying? And that's something that people don't understand. So if you really took the time to sit and listen to the actual podcast instead of just running your mouth and going to your family and, spilling whatever it is that benefits you,
Mm-hmm.
then maybe you would know what's really going on. You know what I mean? And it's disturbing because when I heard you say that, they question or were talking about us talking bad about Frank's family, like, that's fucked up, man. Like, I'm not here to fucking disrespect any of my aunts. Like, I grew up better than that. You know what I'm saying? Like, my Lita taught me better than that, to disrespect any of my aunts. You know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
but it just sucks how there's people out there who are really trying, like, really stretching, like,
Yeah, they're stretching. So, I mean, I'm like, are y'all taking yoga out there? Because, like, even when I used to post on my story and had certain people who were on my social media, they started to tell his mom, like, oh, she's talking about you. And it's like, no, I have friends, and which is a big reason why we started this podcast.
yeah.
Was just because I had friends that we would talk about all this shit. You and I would talk about this shit, and it's like just sharing stuff with people. I mean, some of it was for my own family too,
And
and eventually, you know what? Eventually, some of that stuff ended up being about the toxic family dynamics.
yeah.
And it's like, well, but people were on my Instagram stories like, "Is this fucking play about us?"
And you know what? I lost a relationship with someone recently because they thought that I was throwing shade at their relationship. Like, bitch, my life does not revolve around you or the podcast. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like we ain't thinking about you, sis.
And you really sat there and said that I was throwing jabs at you, that a lot of the topics were us, throwing
Girl.
jabs at you. Like, bro, calm down.
We ain't thinking
Hey,
about you.
If it stung you that bad, and
Go to therapy.
Go take yourself and your man to therapy. If the shoe fit, then it just happened to fit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
we didn't throw no names out there, and we do not have a relationship anymore. You know what I'm saying? And if you have a problem, bring it up. You know what I'm saying? Like, tell me. Don't just act like a little bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like, come and tell me, hey, are you talking about me, or was this directed at me? And I'm going to say no. Our lives do not revolve around yours. You know what I'm saying?
I know. We have to do a whole episode on passive aggressiveness because I feel like that's fucking like 75% of the Mexican culture.
And it's so stupid. Like, I seriously sit here and like,
You can laugh in the microphone.
yeah,
Frank. It's
Frank,
okay.
why are you scared, bro? Talk. I mean, a lot of this shit, I'm like, dude, like, are you kidding me? You know what I'm saying? Like, you really think we're going to sit here and write about you or talk about you? Like, no. Like,
It's not happening.
it's
girl.
not going to happen. Like, you're irrelevant. No offense. But, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
it's like, we're not going to sit here and focus on you. Like,
We got bigger fish to fry over here.
exactly. Frank, say
Okay,
something,
yeah,
bro.
I'm still here. I'm just trying to get a word. Trying to
Go ahead,
get a word
bud.
in there between
Jump
two.
in whenever you want.
So let's start getting on this topic
Like, damn,
because
this is good.
I know he's like just watching us like, okay,
It is a topic. It's a rumor. I heard a rumor.
I know,
that this
girl.
fucking chick thinks I'm talking about. Like, girl,
That's how you
Chill.
get started.
So what, in your opinion, how do you feel like you've dealt with the rumors in like around our marriage and our relationship? Because I feel like that's kind of where things.
For me, I think it was how you had mentioned before. I used to like just be in denial, just be like, oh, I'm okay. Just like, just didn't want to believe the rumors, just try to, put them to the side. But, after therapy, I understood that, I got to live my life and I got to protect what's mine. And it's, I now it's just, I do what I do, it's like, I don't just let it go now. And like you guys were saying, I'm not, when I hear rumors about me, it's like, I hope these people are getting the help that they need. But at the same time, I'm not going to throw any shade or like make someone look bad. Like if you got shit to say about me, that's fine. But I'm not going to make you look bad to anybody else, because
That's not you.
that's not me. It's like, look, you could talk all the shit that you want from me about me in the beginning. Yeah, it would hurt, and it still hurts, but I think I'm more at the point where I'm like, okay, it hurts. I'll go talk to my therapist, and it's like I don't need to make someone feel bad to make myself feel good.
Yeah.
Amen to that.
And it's crazy because, like I mentioned before, like when we talk off the mics, I think for us, it's like we grew up being loyal to each other. I'm saying, like, to our family, because we're so big and close and stuff like that. So how does it make you feel, though, to know that, like, your own blood is sitting there, like, continuing to, like, somehow throw jabs at you guys? You know what I'm saying? Like, and I feel like it's been so long that you guys have seen each other or talked to each other, like, and it's like you would think that everybody would just drop it. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, for some reason, like you say, Lydia, like, oh, I keep hearing shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I keep hearing this, I keep hearing that. Like, so when you see her hear about the things and she cries about it, how does that make you feel?
It makes me mad, and it makes me sad too. Because I mean, no one wants to hear that about your spouse or anything. It's like, so yeah, I get mad, and I get sad, and I just, but I don't go out there. At this point, we're so far separated that it's like, well, I don't need to go out there and look for you just to make you feel bad. It's like, no, it's like, all I can do is try to comfort her, make her feel better, and talk to my therapist about it. I at this point, I'm old. I don't need to pick fights. I don't need to convince anybody that I'm right and someone's wrong. It's like, look, people know me. It is what it is, and you can always ask me, but if you're gonna come ask me, I'll tell you, but I'm not gonna put anyone down or make any. I'm not gonna do it out of to be mean.
Yeah.
If you want to know, I'll tell you, but at the same time, I'm not trying to hurt nobody.
Yeah.
Because what is that gonna do for me?
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like you've come such a long way with it, because in the beginning, he didn't, I'm going to be 100% for a long time, he did not protect me.
Yeah.
When it came to that kind of stuff. And I honestly, now that I see what has happened as a result of him speaking up, I totally understand that. I totally understand it. And, at the end of the day, I think my part was that I had to stop caring. You know what I'm saying? Like, and not like where I'm like, I don't care, nothing hurts me, but just being like, why are these opinions of me? Like, I know who I am at the end of the day. Anyone can say anything. I cannot control that. I think I was trying to control the narrative of how people saw me. So I was constantly trying to prove myself, going way out of my way for people, doing stuff for him that was proving like, well, maybe I am a good wife, because there was this like narrative of like, I was a bitch, because like, simply for just saying like, I will not be treated that way, or you can't talk to me like that, because there's been some very disrespectful ways that I've like super disrespectful. Like, I ain't somebody that's going to be like tripping on every little thing people say, because, I'm used to that. Like, I've got a boomer mom who talks very passive aggressively. So I'm like, I'm used to that. But when you are allowing somebody who wants to destroy your marriage and giving that person priority and comfort in the family, that to me is where I have a problem. Like, it doesn't matter how much other people were saying like, well, you're the wife. you're still allowing this person who clearly does not have good intentions into these spaces with us. And when he's telling you, I'm not okay with that, and you're saying, too bad, that's where I have a problem. And so when I'm putting my foot down about certain things or calling stuff out that other people wouldn't call out, I'm seen as the problem, you know? And to me now, I am fully leaning into my villain era.
Yeah.
Hi, it's me. I'm the problem, because it's like, if we want better for our kids, we need to do fucking better. And this is not it. When you cannot even have a discussion with your own child who is telling you what you're doing is hurting me, and you are acting as if they no longer exist because of that, that's telling me something about you as a person and you as a mother.
Yeah.
And so for me, when I hear this whole narrative of how I'm like telling him not to talk to them, or telling, you know, now it's like branching out to you, right? Because it's like, now you're going to therapy, now you're doing all this stuff that we're doing. So obviously, like, I'm the problem. And I can tell by the way I'm treated by other people that people see me that way. But now I'm like, I could really give a fuck. I refuse to have my child growing up in an environment where people do not talk about, like, hey, what you did was not okay. And this is how we're going to repair our relationship. Because look at how it's affecting you guys as adults. Because nobody has stopped, right? This whole thing of, this is not healthy. This is not okay.
And I think one of the big things also is that, I mean, it's for me and Lydia with
Chubb.
the I, Chubbs.
You call me Chubbs.
For us, I think that I don't think at first it's our fault. I think it's our spouse's fault or our partner's fault. Like, they must be feeding into, at least that's how I feel, which it's like, no, just because I'm not going with the plan how it used to be or what the norm is, just because I'm having these feelings now, don't put it on my wife. She's not the one. Like she said, she's never told me don't do this, don't do that. No, I mean, she does because she's a wife, but she's never really, but for me, it's like everything I'm going through, all my choices, they're all mine. My thing is that people need to stop spreading rumors, or that, well, it must be her fault, or she must have started it. Because, I mean, the only thing she's started was help me to get some therapy.
Yeah.
I mean, because I would have never gone to therapy. I wouldn't have known I needed therapy. But,
because you don't hear that in a
You
Hispanic,
don't.
home.
Right,
Like, you don't
you
hear
don't.
Trust me, my
You don't
own
It's like,
family.
suck it up and just deal with it. It's
Yeah.
like,
And I think that I'm on your side with that, because I feel like a lot of the times that I wouldn't go around my family, I'm 110% sure that they would blame Susie. You know what I'm saying? Like, they would say, oh, well, she doesn't come because she doesn't let her, or she doesn't come because Susie's going to be mad. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not it, though. And I continue to, tell my family, like, the reason why I don't go around is because I don't want to feel like the outsider. Like, I don't want to be put to the side. You know what I'm saying? I'm like,
Yeah.
and I know that a lot of it has to do with my pops. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like a lot of it has to do with him, because he'll call me like, oh, eres mandilona. How do you say that in English? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, he'll be like, oh, eres mandilona. Like, you're this, you're that. Like,
you're pussy whipped.
yeah. And I am. It's a big pussy. That's why. But you know what I'm saying? Like, they're like, oh, she doesn't do this because of Susie.
It's not a bad thing to be. Just
You know what I'm saying? Like, but to me, it's like, Susie tells me, go with your family, go have a
Yeah.
good time. Like, but also I would come home and she would see that I would come home feeling like shit. Like, how was it? Well, my siblings were in the corner talking about a group chat that they have or a movie that they saw together. And I'm really sitting there like, what movie, what group chat? You know what I'm saying? Like, so that is why I started.
You're the Courtney of the family.
Hey, Courtney, I love Courtney.
I'm the Courtney.
You know what I'm
too.
saying? But
it's
like,
all good.
to me, it was like, and I started speaking up. I started saying, hey, you know what? It's not her, it's me. I don't want to come around. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I feel like a lot of the way that, a lot of how our family treats Lydia is because I think that they think that she has a lot to do with it because she's considered an outsider. You know what I'm saying? As much as you are family, you know what I'm saying? But you're from the outside. Course. You get what I'm saying?
And I know this because somebody said to me, like, joking around, but I'm like, I know your fucking ass was serious. Was like, if you and Frank got divorced, sorry, we would never have a relationship because I would write for him. And I was like,
Damn, no.
Yeah, and I was like,
you don't have that person in your house ever again.
Okay.
Chubby.
That wasn't me. I said you were out of the family. I said we wouldn't say you.
Well, you know, and the thing is like the narrative has always been like, well, I'm the devious one. I'm this, I'm that. Like, I remember one time two of his siblings were like, oh yeah, we know you would be the cheater in the relationship. And I'm like, surprise, bitch, that's not true. But that's the thing, like that there was so many assumptions about like what my behavior meant to them. And part of the loyalty of ride or die, keep the secrets, keep it all, and once we started to be very upfront with people and say like, this is why we are not talking to them, this is what is going on, it was like Ghostbusters when they open the trap and all the ghosts come out.
Yeah.
Like it was seriously like World War III basically. And at first I spent so much energy like trying to defend ourselves, defend our marriage, defend our family. And it got so exhausting. And I'm like, first of all, why the fuck am I defending myself against people that would treat me this way? Number one. Number two, why? And the reason I think I fought so hard and put up with so much was because I understood the relationship that he had and how important it was. And as your spouse, you're like, I'm going to support you.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to put up with some shit because I know how much you love your family and I'm not going to rock the boat. But let me tell you, trust and believe. You know that movie with J-Lo? No, like
Selena.
No, fuck. Where she has like she's marrying that guy and her and the mother-in-law are like.
Oh, it's called The Mother-in-Law, no?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, no, it wasn't like that. But what I'm saying is like you just try so hard to get someone's approval because you know what that means to your partner, and I was used to that, doing that with my own mom. So I was like thinking, well, I'll just keep doing more and more, obviously when I got pregnant, and I know you're probably experiencing this too, is when you get pregnant, everybody treats you like gold in a Mexican family. 'Cause they're like, oh, now you're having a baby. Because trust me, before that, I was like nothing to them.
Yeah.
The minute I got pregnant, it was kind of like this, everyone started, being really nice. But the reality is the baby grows up, and when the baby isn't cute anymore.
Hey, my baby's going to be cute forever.
My baby's still cute, okay? But what I'm saying is when the baby isn't cute anymore and they feel like they don't have that influence over your child, then what ends up happening is it's like you're no longer valuable to them. And I think that then it started to be where they were treating my child less than, or making comments about me in front of my child about like how I wasn't a good wife. Like if I, and I think that the hard thing about when people have these ideas is that if you're not totally on board with your partner, there was times where I think your mom would make comments and you would be like, oh yeah, she doesn't do that for me. But I just feel like that was your guys' way of communicating. And it was kind of like this, well, let's make this joke. But what it ended up doing was letting her know that it was okay for her to do that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but I think I understand how much strength and courage it took for him to actually put his foot down and say, like, no more, we're not doing this. And the cost, like what it's cost him now.
Well, it's cost him his whole family, which really sucks, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't know. I think when we talk about all this, like, it breaks my heart because, you know, you were gone for so long and then you came back and it's like,
Yeah.
it almost feels like your family just turned their back on you. You know what I'm saying? Because you decided to put your foot down and speak up and let your family know how they made you feel or whatever the case was. I mean, I know what it was, but I'm not going to get into details. You know what I'm saying? But just the fact that you spoke up and it's like you moved all the way out here because you missed your family. You know what I mean? And it almost is kind of like, for what? You know what I mean? It's not for what, because you've built relationships with so many other families. You know what I'm saying?
We really came back for you.
I know that. But you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just crazy because I feel bad that, you know, you came back and it's like, you don't even have them. You know what I mean? Like, you don't even spend time with them. I know you have a lot of other people. But I'm saying, because, you know, like, I always get asked, like, how does it feel not to, you know, have that love from your parents?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because they're your parents. But in my eyes and in my heart, my parents are my grandparents. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I will always repeat that. Like, I know my mom and dad brought me into this world, but I never got that relationship that my siblings share with my parents. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I've always said it. My parents are good parents to them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've seen it. You know what I'm saying? But it sucks. You know what I'm saying? Because you can sit here and me and you can both sit here and say, like, you know, oh, we're going to therapy, which we are. You know, we're healing, you know, and it doesn't hurt me anymore. But I know that it might still sting a little bit that you don't get to talk to your dad or your mom. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, it does. And, you know, it's the hard thing is that, you know, I don't know, people might not understand. Even though I have this relationship or non-relationship, doesn't mean I don't love my parents.
Yeah, that's what I always say. It doesn't mean you're loving them less, you know, like.
But, you know, what does RuPaul say?
If you ain't
Shantae away.
He says, if Shantae, you stay, sashay away. No, he says, if you ain't paying my rent, I pay you no mind.
You guys,
if I don't
you can't love yourself,
how the hell are you gonna love someone else? Can I get an amen?
No, you
No.
But no, seriously. So you know, and it's you have to take care of yourself and then the family you create. You know, I think that's a big thing that I've learned. You know, it's like she said, you know, for the longest time, I put her in the back burner, you know, but I think the way we grew up, that's how it was. I didn't know any better, you know. It's like, and also, you know, we do little jabs here and there, which it's like, you know, it's like you think it's okay, but it's really not. But, you know, once I realize, you know, I have to take care of Mateo and her, you know, and I got to take care of myself, you know. That's my family that I've created. That's my priority.
Yeah,
you know, everything else, you know, and like she said, I might have not been like that at the beginning, but and not to make excuses, but I didn't know any better, you know.
Yeah.
For the first 21 years. Just kidding. I'm joking. It was only 18 of them. No.
Hey, but he's doing better.
He's doing better. I got to give him credit. And I understand, like, I mean, because the rumors that people were saying about our marriage, like, this literally almost ended our marriage. Like, there literally has been points where I was like, I cannot do this anymore. I cannot continue to eat it when people are being that way to me.
And the part that sucks is, like, his family wouldn't see that. You know, like, his family didn't wouldn't see and understand, like, let's say you did leave Frank, you know what I'm saying? And his families wouldn't see the pain that he would have to go through because of them, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because they were the cause of all the arguments that you guys would have and stuff.
Well,
you know what I mean?
still, yeah, and still to this day, they, I know that there's a lot of folks that believe that I should just basically shut the fuck up about all this stuff and just accept it as it is. Because, I'll never forget when Frank and I first got married. I remember something that his mom told me, and it was that her mother-in-law had an issue with her. I'm not sure what it was, but she never felt like she really liked her. And I just remember thinking like, hush, that sucks, So when all this stuff started to happen and, we were having issues, I just thought, you know what this feels like? Why would you do that to me? And this is from the very beginning. Like, I'm sure that there's been stuff I've said or how I've been that rubbed them the wrong way. And I know that because, I'm sure culturally, I grew up here. So the way that I am and I interact with people is different. I understand that. And I understand how it can rub them the wrong way, because there's been times where his dad has said things that are disrespectful. And I'm like, that's not okay with me. And just me saying that is disrespectful, especially like in your family system, right? And, anyways, so I get it. At the same time, telling people stuff about me that you don't even know is true is not okay. And I think the way that I've sort of ended up, really kind of dealing with all this is it's not that you get to a point where you're like, I don't care what anyone thinks about me. I'm going to be me. I'm going to do what I do. Because I think there's a balance in that, right? And we can't be like, well, I'll just do whatever I want. I don't care what people think. Because at the end of the day, sometimes we do have to consider people's feelings. And if someone comes to us and says like, the way you said that really hurt my feelings, you kind of have to evaluate that and decide, like or have a conversation. But when people make assumptions about what kind of person I am, and say like, I'm this way, that way, I don't even know what else. And here I am, like having to prove to people, like, I am a good partner. Like, I'm fucking educated as fuck. I'm motivating you. I keep a clean ass house. I cook from scratch.
She cleans
Like,
your chonies.
how much fucking
No,
shit
actually,
can
I
I
do
do?
that.
All right.
And I look good a lot of the time. Sometimes not so much, but
No, you do.
no, but like,
Suck.
and I think that fuckers. But I think that I kind of had to get to a point where it was like, I'm not doing this anymore. Like,
Yeah.
I would be somebody who'd be like, okay, I'll bring a cake that I bake from scratch to your house because
Which you haven't done in a long time. Your baking skills are, I don't know what's up with them, dude.
girl, it's been hot as fuck. I can't.
I would have been done that. I'm just kidding. Go
You
ahead.
got a band, don't you?
Shit. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I was always trying to prove what kind of like that I was worthy to be with him. When I was like, motherfucker, you need to it's the other way around. But that's the thing is that I got to a point where it's like, who am I trying to prove this to? Who the fuck am I trying to prove this to? You know what I'm saying? To people that don't have the emotional capacity to have a conversation with me, who fucking iced out their own child, like, fuck that shit. Like, this is done. I'm done.
Yeah, 'cause she didn't need to do all that. She could bring me a freaking Taco Bell and some booty shorts, and I'm good.
You're like, I'm solid.
I don't need all that other stuff.
But I saw this today, and I think this is what you guys are doing. It says when you heal yourself, you heal your lineage. Your impact will ripple through generations. The self-work that you do today will impact the way that your children and their children and their children experience the world. I see you, cycle breaker. Keep doing the good work.
I'm proud of myself. I gotta say that for sure.
I'm
I'm
proud of
really
you.
proud of both
Yeah.
of you
I know, I'm
guys.
proud of you too. You know what I'm saying? But like, I told Susie the other day that I got out of therapy. I think I told you guys too. And my therapist told me, like, I told him everything that was going down with my dad and all this other crap, you know. And he when I was done, like, he's like, I'm so proud of you. You know what I'm saying? It's like all the work that you've been doing, it's preparing you to bring a child into this world, and the fact that you're setting boundaries before she gets here is awesome. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
And and I think that's very true. Like I was gonna say earlier, like we were joking, like it took me so long, like
Yeah.
to realize this, and like you're doing this right now, so hopefully once you have your baby, like you're already ahead. You're ahead of the game.
I'm already setting boundaries.
You're already setting boundaries.
That's good.
With me, it took
Don't
me,
nobody
like,
be asking to see this baby because this baby gonna be in a bubble until after like COVID is over.
That's true. But with me, it took me so long.
Yeah.
Which I wish I would have had those years back. But
Hey, but you did you did
but
it.
I'm glad that you're
Yeah.
doing it because, like I said, I think you're ahead of the game.
Don't worry, Mama did it. I was like, fuck with my kid. Ain't gonna happen.
No, but I think that you should give yourself a lot of credit too, because, like I said, like, when you got back, because I mean, I don't really remember you. Like, I remember you a little bit, like growing up. You know what I'm saying? But once you got back and like,
Yeah,
we built the relationship. You know what I'm saying? Like, I saw what kind of person you were. Like, you have a big heart.
I just want to clarify once we moved back from San Jose, because you make it sound like he was in prison.
no,
Once he got out of that,
no.
Once you got out,
But you know what I'm saying? Like, well, once you move back and like I got to know you, like, and you have a big heart. You love hard when you love someone. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it just hurts. It hurts my heart to see that your family can't see that. You know what I'm saying? And even for myself, like, I don't understand how. I mean, my mom's getting a lot better at it. You know what I'm saying? But to me, it's like, how does it not hurt you not to call your kid or check up on them? Like, how does your mom not know that someone fucking hit you on the freeway and you're done? Like, how does she not know that? You know what I'm saying? Like, how does it not come out of a parent to want to call their kid? You know what I'm saying? Like, it sucks. You know what I mean? And to see that you're going through what you're going through with your family, even with your siblings, you know what I'm saying? Like, you helped one of your siblings when she needed help the most, you know what I'm saying? And that person can't even see that. Like, and that's fucked up, because God forbid something happens to you, they're going to end up having that regret. And no matter how prideful that these people are, it'll hurt you. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody tells me, like, oh, well, if something happens to your dad, like, how are you going to feel? It's going to hurt me. That's my dad. You know what I'm saying? But I think I've gotten more pain from him than happiness. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, and I think I don't know, like, I'm not going to try to, make any assumptions about, what they think or whatever. But I will say this, to see when you become a parent yourself, those things that your parents did to you, it becomes more intense. Like, you're like, I'm a parent and I cannot imagine doing this to my kid. And when you don't do those things to your kid, you're like, here I am and I didn't do it. How the fuck did you do this to me now? How did you treat me like I'm a piece of trash, basically? Like, you are basically, but there's two things here. How someone treats you is how they feel about themselves. You know what I'm saying? So you can't take that in and think, I wasn't worthy of being loved that way. I wasn't, good enough. I wasn't this. I shouldn't have said no. Like, as the parent, and I think about my own child. There were times where I probably did not react the way I should have. And I'm sure he's going to have a lot of feelings about that as he gets older. And I have to take responsibility and say, yeah, you know what? I did fuck up because of my own shit, you know? And that's the thing about being a parent is like, it is not enough to tell. And if people fuck it, I hate when people are like, I fed you, I took you to practice, I did that is the bare fucking minimum. We have to provide our kids with emotional safety, and we have to fucking make sure that we're addressing if they have mental health stuff. You know, I remember my mom making a comment like, oh, well, you know, I just think you coddle him too much, you know? And I'm like, what's the alternative to that? For me to just leave him in the fucking dust like you did to me? And I swear she just looked at me like, what the fuck? And I'm like, that's how you made me feel. I said, I was struggling. And you guys just didn't even want to address it. So when you have, you know, when you're a parent, part of what you have to do is you have to be the bigger person. Like for me, I mean, I definitely have my thoughts because I see the pain that it causes. But at the end of the day, you know, I'm not going to make an assumption about like why things are being handled the way they are. Like I have some ideas just looking at, you know, thinking about these dysfunctional family dynamics. Because look at what happened to him when he dared say, I'm not okay with this behavior, right? He was fucking iced out. And who else is going to say anything? Because now they all see it. They all see it. And to be quite honest with you, it has happened to two of them at different points, and they had to fight their way back into the family. And they ain't never going to say shit because they don't want to find themselves on the outside again. But when you're having like dinners, I'll never forget. We used to go over there for dinner every Thursday, and all of a sudden it was like, no more dinners. We're like, what's going on? And then one day he dropped by to drop something off, and there were his siblings fucking having dinner.
On a Thursday.
Yes. And his mom was like, oh, no, we're not doing this anymore. It's just, they just happen to be here.
Some bullshit.
But when someone is on Instagram posting fucking Thursday dinners every fucking Thursday,
shit like that is done on purpose.
Like that's not okay.
However you want to take it, like when people post shit like that, like you're trying to get a reaction out of someone, or you're trying to purposely show someone like you weren't invited type of thing. You know what I'm saying? Like that's fucked up. You know what I mean? I don't know, dude. It's just happy that you're going to therapy. That's all I gotta say, because that's what's gonna help you. You know what I'm saying? Like
it's already helped.
Yeah, I think that's what's helping me. Like, and the fact that I have it every 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. See, you're lucky. I need more.
He needs once a week.
Like,
come on, Kaiser.
It's been like helping me a lot too. You know what I'm saying? That I've been going like every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Like, and it's crazy because every single time I'm done, like Susie will ask me, "How do you feel?" And it's like it feels like so much weight off your chest. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and I told her, like, I think being home right now, like every day, like by myself while she goes to work, like your brain is like going, you know what I'm saying? Like your brain is nonstop, like thinking about stuff. And I think that if I didn't have therapy, like I probably would have lost my shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
But
I mean, I'll tell you, like, I know, you know, we spend a lot of time together, but in like the span of you going to therapy, like I've seen your emotional growth like tremendously, like before, and which is not to say that the things that happen don't hurt you anymore, but in the beginning, I just felt like you were carrying like so much of that pain. And then on top of that, it was like I could see you were so stressed trying to do the people pleasing. Like you were trying to appease Susie and you were trying to appease your family. So I could see you kind of, and that's exactly how Frank was. Like he would be so stressed. Like, okay, for example,
trying to please everybody. When
we lived in San Jose, we would come to visit for Christmas. And I was always like, I'm going to fill up our calendar because because I knew they didn't want me there. So I was like, I'm going to just make myself scarce, basically. And especially when this kid was born, there's just a lot of the dynamics were starting to come out. Like, you know, when you have a baby born at the same time, you know, obviously his sister's kid was going to get that, you know, acceptance, no holds barred, but my child was going to have to work with that you know, and of course I'm raising my child different. So, you know, this kid was coming out different and they did not like that, I think, because just the comments, whatever. Anyways, but I could see him like, well, my mom wanted to go have lunch or my mom wants to do this. So we would literally be like, okay, you're here, I'm there. I'll see you when I get back, because he just could not, he just didn't feel comfortable yet, like creating that boundary.
Yeah.
And
I'm
I could
sure
see
it
how
sucks.
stressed he was.
And I'm sure it sucks for you because it sucks for me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like showing up without Susie sometimes, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it's like, well, what do you, like the whole drive, like from,
It's like, what are you going to
like, what are you
say?
going to say? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Well, and you know, and one thing is that, you know, one of my last relationships, that was my whole thing. I would always go to parties by myself, and I would have to like make up stories why they
fuck
weren't
that
there.
bitch. I'm just kidding.
And then eventually towards the end,
Yeah.
I was just like, they didn't want to come. That was, I stopped making excuses.
And
you
all
know?
of a sudden, she wants to be all up in the mix now.
No comment. But
That's
I
not who I
will
was
say,
talking about.
Right.
but I will say, like, you know, for the most part, I understood that that was really important for him, like for me to show up for him, especially with his family.
Because that's how it is in our
Right,
family.
right.
You know what I'm
So,
saying?
so I would show up at every party, everything.
All in tacones and
Looking fucking beat to the gods, okay? However, you know, the other thing is like, now I know, yes, I was there showing up for you, but I was really not, and I'm not going to say this about everybody because there are some people who have let me know that I'm always welcomed. But yeah, you know, but that whole splitting yourself in two,
That
and
sucks.
that's what I would tell them.
I forgive you.
What?
I mean, like I'm telling you, like it would start arguments between me and Susie too, you know, like, and now that we sit and talk, like her reasoning was, I don't like to see you be put to the side. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
now it makes more sense. And even now, like she'll come around once in a while, you know what I mean? But I think she would always, when she was always with me, it was because her family wouldn't do anything, you know, like Susie's Mrs. Claus, you know what I'm saying? So like now, like she'll like get things going for them, you know, for her immediate family, because it's literally just them. So she'll get things going for them now. So now it's like, now we got to separate each other, you know what I'm saying? Like, or we'll spend time with her family for a little bit and then I'll leave, you know what I'm saying? Because for me, it's like I have a bigger family, you know what I'm saying? So it's like surround Dita as much as possible, you know what I'm saying? Like with as much as of us as we can. So for her, it's like if she leaves and there's so little, like you know what I'm saying? Like it's just literally them, just a little bit of them. So if she leaves, it's kind of like, oh, she's leaving her mom by herself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So now it makes more sense to me. And it doesn't hurt as much that she doesn't come around. And it doesn't start arguments anymore. But before it would. And I can, because it sucks, you know? Like, you're showing up by yourself and everybody's like, oh, well, where's Lydia? Where's Susie? You know what I'm saying?
Well, and then, you know, part of that is like, how do you break this cycle? And the way you do it is just, instead of creating these lies and lies and lies and lies, say, you know what, they don't feel comfortable being here because, you know, blah, 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 whatever. And, you know, obviously I think you have to talk to your partner, but if it's like, for example, if it's my family saying something, then it's my job to say like, no, you cannot do that. You can't talk about my partner like that. You can't make up anything. And so, you know, and it's his job to do that for his family. You know, my family, trust me, trust and believe, because my mom also has sisters and they all jump on the fucking bandwagon. And there has been situations where they like to talk shit about, you know, obviously partners. And I'm like, no, you guys are not doing that. And I literally, this one of the last conversations I had with my mom, I know she gets annoyed with me because I will call her out on stuff. And, obviously that's a different dynamic in our family and we do that shit all the time to each other. But I said, I said, Mom, listen, you don't know, you're not in their marriage. You don't know what's going on. Like, you can talk about your experience with that person, of course, and the other people in the family who have these experiences, whatever. I said, at the end of the day, like how this person has treated me has been great. They've been fine with us. I'm going to continue to have a relationship with them. I said, but it's not okay for you to start like trying to rally people to not like this person, because I said, listen, that's what is happening to me and you don't like it. That makes you upset that someone's hurting your child like that. I said, this person has a mom. How do you think that person's mom is, feels knowing that y'all are over here just trying to rally the troops to dislike someone?
And it's usually based on rumors too.
Exactly.
It's like you don't know firsthand. It's like you're just listening to the rumors and you're making a decision, or you're making
We're such a big family that like everybody talks, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I know,
whether you do good or bad, someone's always going to say something.
girl. And, the thing is that the way part of, I think, like, I cared so much about, I understood what his relationship was with the larger family. And to me, I was like, always like, okay, I want to make sure that he's proud of me as a wife, as a partner. That's why I fucking bent over backwards to do all this shit. Like, I have a whole, a list of stuff that, I was like, I'm going to just do this for everybody and everything, and then yada yada. And now I'm like, fuck that shit. Y'all are talking shit about me. You don't even like me. I heard all this shit, it's like, and you make an assumption about what kind of person I am. Like, forget that. I'm not doing that anymore for people.
I know. And really, like, and that was all her. Like, she would want to make all this stuff. I'd be like, why are you doing all this?
You know what sucks to me, ever since you said something, that to me what sucks is that you're not, talk amongst yourselves, like your immediate family, you know what I'm saying? Like, you guys can talk your shit within yourselves, but now you're starting to include our aunts, you know what I'm saying? And to me, that is that's what triggers me, you know what I'm saying? Because throw me into the mix if you want. I got nothing to hide. Listen to the fucking podcast. You know what I'm saying? Like, you'll clearly see that we're not talking shit.
Yeah.
But when you start including all of them, like, that's wrong. Like, what are you trying to get at? Like, what are you trying to do? Like,
yeah,
you're obviously trying to continue to hurt these people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
well, it's like, sometimes when people are hurting inside, like, my assumption here.
That's just evilness. That's not hurting.
Well, at the end of the day, it really is. Like, if someone's really hurting inside, like hurting because they don't have that relationship with you that they wish they did, and they're going to find a person to project all that anger on. So it's like, I'm going to destroy you in any way I could. And that is, to basically try to assassinate my character, saying that I'm this, I'm that, I'm yet. Listen, at the end of the day, people are going to have their perspective about me based on how I am. I'm going to tell you right now, this is what I think about myself. I don't take fucking shit. When it comes to my family, I will fucking throw down. Okay? I will put Vaseline on my face, take my earrings out, pull my hair back in a tight bun, and fight your ass on my front lawn if I need to.
Yeah.
Because I love these people. And so if that means that I have to set boundaries with people and they see that as rude, they see that I'm this way, that I'm controlling, blah, blah, let them do that. Like, I have nothing to prove to people. Like, I'm an educated person. I'm always trying to elevate my family. I'm trying to push him to be the best person that I know he can be. I do that with my own child. When people come to my home, like, I want them to feel welcomed. I want them to feel taken care of. And if someone got a problem with that, well, that's their problem. Yeah. I'm not going to prove that I'm worthy of being respected And that's what it comes down to. You don't got to like me, but you have to respect me. And if you don't want to respect me, then you really don't have a place in my life or my family's life at the end of the day. So that's what it comes down to. And for me, like, I literally used to cry to my mom and my friends, like, I don't know why these people don't love me or accept me because I'm such a good wife to this man.
That sucks.
And I'm like, why am I fighting for my fucking life to be accepted by someone that doesn't even have a fucking driver's license? For reals.
You know that's gonna sting. That's gonna
You
sting.
know, yeah.
That's that's gonna sting. I'm gonna go ahead and take some more water real quick. No, I mean whatever. You know they're starting rumors about you guys, so I guess it's every man for themselves. Is it gonna be pay-per-view? The fight in your front yard? Is it, or is it gonna be free?
I'm going to edit that part out.
Why?
Okay.
He's like, I don't want to clean the eggs off of the front yard.
I don't know, dude. There's some good stuff though.
I mean, at the end of the day, we just got to keep living our lives.
Yep.
And we just got to let people think that whatever they're going to think, because
Maybe we're gonna get more views knowing that Frank's on because they're gonna be like, this is some juicy
what's he
shit.
going to say?
What's he gonna say? Is he gonna
And
throw us under the bus?
And I spent the first like half hour just trying to get a word edgewise with you two, just talking.
I started squeezing your cheeks. Don't even lie. You're
I was like,
nervous.
damn. I was like, how does anyone talk between these two?
Because you know what? It's
You
just,
guys have that. Yes, I know. I
we
know.
just
You
like
guys are
get
just used
going
to it.
and we're just doing our things.
I
But
do think that one day we should just start the mics and just start fucking
And just start talking
Yeah,
like
you
we
said.
do. Yeah,
Yeah,
like we do. Just we should do it one day where we start
just
drinking,
chat it up.
the open
have some
session.
drinks, and just open it up
Oh,
and just
shit.
I
like,
can't drink.
and open my after.
Oh, okay.
In a couple weeks, you can start again.
No. Oh yeah.
Couple weeks, yeah.
Girl,
I told Susie she's coming. She's coming. I can feel that she's tired of being in there too.
she's like, get me out of here.
Yeah.
Well, girls, yeah, I don't know. You might want to stay in there a little bit more.
Your room's not ready yet. Stay in there.
Oh, gosh. Anyhow,
Wait till after the new year.
No.
no, the baby's freaking due like in a couple weeks,
That's
dude. What the heck?
Don't have a Christmas baby.
Hell no. I told Susie no. Then she won't get, like, people will try to
Exactly.
fucking give her presents. And it's your Christmas and your birthday. Nah,
They're
bitch.
still gonna try to do that.
Walk in with two, please. One for her birthday.
That's
I got
why.
you.
That's
I
my
got
mom.
you. They're
My
gonna be
mom's
like,
like, my mom's like, you better get me 2 gifts.
What, your mom's birthday on Christmas?
December 22nd.
they're gonna be like, here's a pair of socks. One for
Yeah.
one's your birthday, the other one
Fuck up.
Christmas.
Oh, anyhow.
Anyways.
All right. Well,
Yeah, sorry, I wasn't as juicy as
no.
people probably thought. But this was about rumors. It wasn't. I'll be on here again.
Yeah, you will.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll put him back on, so now he knows.
I just needed to.
Put you back on after your family hears it.
I just
Oh,
need to get my,
shit.
I just need to get my feet wet.
It's all good. It's all good. Anyways, all right. Well, thank you for joining us.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it,
It
babe.
goes by fast.
You can stop squeezing your cheeks.
I know. All right, everybody.
Take
So
care, buddy.
join us on our next episode, and we'll see you then.
Ciao.
Ciao.
Peace.